This next question is from Kresimir. So he says he's still new with your course, but he's wondering and would like to actually start contacting potential clients to earn while he learns. So he's already joined copywriting job boards on Facebook. Is that okay? Is there some better way to do that? What do you think the best way to do it is? I know actually that answer, so we'll see if I'm right.
Yeah.
Anyway, I see that business owners are asking copywriters for their portfolio and what they charge for their service. And then he's got a number of other possibilities. So how do I, this is like its own really important question. How do I position myself to stand out from all the other offers they get? Should I offer my service for free so that they don't lose anything except a little bit of time, but in return can get a chance at winning copy for free to start building experience and build a portfolio so that he can compete with those writers who have that? So I guess at the end of the day, my favorite parts of that question are, is it first off okay to do this learn while you earn type vibe? And then what's the best way to position yourself to stand out so that, you know, you literally stand out in the inbox?
Yeah, I mean, well, I think, did you say you knew the answer?
I think I know the answer because it's been brought up many times. So it's the one where instead of putting these business owners in a position where they have to think at all, you give them something directly applicable to their business that they can actually apply or at least see in context of their business. So in most cases, I believe Stefan and his business partner, Justin, and Sabah and everyone else, or some others, have recommended you either write like a quick lead or a couple of emails that are actually for their offer. So that really stands out versus the people who are just sending in like generic portfolios or samples that are maybe similar, but not directly applicable to the business owner. But let's see what else. I probably missed something. So what do y'all think?
I think that was good. I think, there are the kind of client bonus modules in RMBC. So I don't know if you watch those ones yet, Kresimir, but if not, go watch those because it does talk about a lot of those strategies as well. Beyond that, was standing out. I think of kind of that's a huge part of watching those. Like, so it was like some things that Justin and I did, a few things, something from Freelancer Freedom, all kinds of other stuff like that. I think finding your unique differentiator, unique value proposition is really important for freelancers too. I think it's something that it doesn't get talked about as much, but what makes you memorable, right? What makes you unique? For Copywriter Lite, we had, I forget how many people signed up at our event, like joined, who bought a ticket, like 35 people, 40 people, something like that, maybe more, I don't know. And so we did like these ignition calls with people who joined Copywriter Lite after the event, right? And we're doing them in batches of 10. So we did 10 people last Wednesday, we're doing 10 more today. And, talking to one guy who's like, well, I did DirecTV in New Zealand and, basically it was part of, 9-figure campaigns and, helped like Nordic Track and like Total, like Jim and all these people. And Sabah, what I'm talking about, because you gave him, it's funny, you basically gave him the same advice before we had given it to him. You give it to him, and I think maybe then Justin and I basically said the same thing, which was like, well, leverage the shit out of that. Like you basically, you have all this background in DRTV, like you're an expert, you can talk about, as you share posts, you can be like, well, here's what I learned from selling $100 million worth of stuff in DRTV. Right? Like, here's the principles, here's how it applies. Like, you're this expert, and like, like leverage that and position that. And he literally took Sabah's advice, and I guess Justin and I's after the fact, because, maybe sometimes hearing it from one person, I guess, is like, good. And then when more people are like all saying the same thing, you're like, oh, I guess I really should take it serious. And then he messaged you, Sabah, he already got like a fat retainer. Like it was like a week afterwards.
Starting today. Yeah. It was like, he said he reached out after the event, like last Wednesday, to a couple of prospects that he had met. And that's how he led. I told him to, pitch himself as, this like TV video expert, basically, because there's a huge demand for people who can write good video ads. That's definitely like a niche market. There's, not every copywriter can write good video ads. So he already sort of has that lever, he can use that as leverage, which he did. And he did a sample script for them. They loved it. And they told him, I think they said their words exactly were that he's a unicorn, like in the, in the market. Because there's very few copywriters who really have mastered that skill set. So
yeah. For sure. And so the question, like, what makes you unique, right? So, okay, well, he sold $100 million worth of stuff. I'm just starting out. Like, yeah, but what makes you different from everybody else? You know, like Gabe, if you're still on this, I know Gabe was on watching the Facebook Live. It's like Gabe is a really good computer programmer, and really smart, can build like software and tools and things like that. So he built one actually, which I'm going to be sharing soon. I got to connect with Gabe. It's still on my list to connect with you this week. They created like an RMBC editor. So basically you have everything in like one page. So you've got research here, and you've got like your mechanism, you've got your brief, and then as you're typing, you can toggle between R, M, and B. As you're writing, you can have two things side by side, so you can look at a swipe and write. It's super dope and really cool that he did it. And so one thing I told him was like, beyond even getting, oh, it has a tool that lets you duplicate your research from another author now. Nice. Yeah, he's making it better as we go here. So I'm going to give that to everyone in Copy Accelerator, and frankly, probably give it to everyone in RMBC too, just as another value add and being Mr. Over Deliver, even though I could charge for it. And we might try and turn it into some like AI powered shit and make it like a SaaS and all that later on. But the point is, I'm like, dude, like, yeah, I'm like, that's dope. So he did that for me. And I'm like, let me give you a shout out. I'm going to share it in Copy Accelerator. I'm going to share it in RMBC. And then we're going to have a bunch of people and be like, by the way, like reach out to Gabe, right? Like, and like, if he could do this for you for Credit Secrets, right? Jada Bull. It's like, you guys want some kind of cool SaaS product? Talk to Gabe. And so then like, it's not copy, it's writing products, but that's like, he's really good at doing that. Plus he understands copy and direct response. So marrying those things is like, I think a huge thing where Gabe could be easily getting to like, 10,000 plus a month in the next couple months through a combination. And then while he's doing that stuff, he's like, oh, and I also write copy. You know what I mean? So if he wants to write copy too, then he can write copy too. I've talked to like Peter joked about, stop wearing shoes, but it's true. And funnily enough, it's like Peter, everyone kind of, within a lot of people know that Peter like never wears shoes. So it's like, oh yeah, even that sounds funny, right? But like that stands out. So just finding the things that make you stand out. Like Kimmy Do is a fucking beast, brilliant marketer, so smart. But she's 16 and that was to her advantage. I got, this guy Elijah reached out to me like a year and a half ago and was like, I'm in Nigeria, but don't worry, I'm not gonna like, ask you for like money for a relative or whatever it is. And, like that made me laugh. And then like I remembered him, and so that's like a little thing. But like, oh, now I have a lot of Nigerian copywriters and kind of around. But like at the time, it's like, oh, the Nigerian guy is funny. Like just have something memorable. So and what makes you stand out, and ideally tying that to the value proposition that you bring to the market. I think that's really Michael Roshi. Yours is like the it's email copy chief. Like it's like, you're the email expert. You can look at an email and instantly diagnose what's wrong with it. And then you're also kind of like the emo copywriter, and emo is good. You're the email copywriter, something like that. You can find a way to play with that, but you're like, you're good at other types of copy too, but you're an email expert and you're kind of emo. And that's part of your brand is being emo. It's being vulnerable. It's crying. It's talking about, your hopes and dreams and fears. I mean, the reason people love you is because you are so open and honest about all the things you struggle with. That's kind of mine too, right? Like I'm partially the emopreneur, partially, right? I have other stuff too, but a lot of my what makes me different is like I'm this A-list multimillionaire who's authentic and real and accessible, and generally not arrogant, unless you're the one person who read that email about losing $120,000 and said that was arrogant. I'm not sure exactly how he got it from that, but God bless him. Right, but that's kind of my brand, right? It's authentic, real. It's like I'm super successful, but I'm humble and down to earth. And those are real things. It's not like an act where I'm secretly this cocky asshole when I get off these calls. But that's a lot of now how you think of me. But it can also change, right? Before that, I was like best health copywriter in the world. Like there's different sort of things that I've been, but like it can evolve too. But at the same time, like I just finding that unique thing and then owning it, right? Back to permission. Don't be fake. Don't be like, I'm the world's best fucking headline writer and you're like just starting out and don't know how to write headlines. But being like, there's only one of me in the world, and like this is what makes me special and why you should hire me is awesome. It could be something like I watched 100,000 hours of infomercials. And so I really know what works and what doesn't work. And then people are like, oh, wow, that guy's fucking crazy. But like, yeah, I'll bite. Like, what works? And you're like, well, here's the elements, right? But actually watch 100,000 hours worth of infomercials. Again, we're not trying to say the lie, but it doesn't have to be something about results. It can just be something unique. So I'm not trying to tangent on this one here. It's just, I think it's a huge opportunity for people and it sets you apart versus like, hi, I want to write you emails. You're like, okay, go fuck yourself. I don't know. Like I'd love to, but I don't know who you are. Like, so yeah, some thoughts, and I'm gonna shut up.
I really like that idea of the 1,000 hours or whatever. Ultimately, like even with the emails, you could say like I've studied the top 10 brands that are like the person's competitors, for the past month or so. And so I know all of their automations. I've got like a big swipe file, like even stuff like that will impress a potential client because they'll know that you've done your research. You're obviously aware of, like the patterns and trends that their competitors are doing. So you basically given yourself an advantage.
Yeah, totally. I think another thing too is when you reach out is like have personality. Like I'm gonna share my screen real quick and say, fuck it, I'm gonna share something with you guys. And ladies. So this is from Parth Kadam. Never met Parth before. Greetings, Stefan. Right here he is. He's got my picture. For all I know, he photoshopped this on the picture. He does this for everybody, but obviously it gets my attention because I'm immediately like, this is like, goofy kid I don't know holding my picture. And it's like, sorry, I'm trying to make this one bigger here. You never heard of me. Yo, I'm Parth. I got your email from top secret servers using a biorhythmic meta spider with 100 gigabyte neutroplasmic VPN that I found online after a few hours of digging. Let me get right down to it. I don't know if there's a problem you have, but if not, that's totally cool. I help business owners in the BizOp MMO niche get more open rates and CTRs with my curiosity packed, story driven, and unforgettable, just like this emails. Here are 3 samples I wrote exclusively for you. You'll find at the bottom of the email. They basically, I write the emails, you send them to your list. And if you don't see a significant increase in open rates in 7 days, then you don't owe me a penny. If you're even the slightest bit curious, would you be open to a quick 7-minute chat? I promise to give you some ideas you're free to steal. If you play your cards right, I might even tell you the lamest joke I know. Finally, it's time to release my favorite weapon, a picture of my little Lucy in her upcoming birthday costume, just what you've always wanted. And there's this cute cat for the lobster costume, which is adorable. I await your shocked, if not somewhat impressed reply. Have an utterly terrific day. Parth, waiting Kadam. And then emo copywriter, lactose intolerant, occasional inbox pest. Got this little picture of him. If you want to hear from me, just right now. So, right, like, there's this kid, emos me, but I just liked him immediately because this got my attention. Email was pretty well written. I kind of like that. I'm assuming he's in India or Pakistan. Maybe he's not. I'm just fucking a racist white person, but I'm pretty sure, generally when people reach out to me, they are. Maybe he's in fucking New York. I don't know, but I just liked him. I'm oh, it's cool. I want to talk to this guy more. The picture made me laugh. So then he sent me these emails. The emails were pretty good. There was opportunities. I didn't reply right away. I always say follow up. He did follow up. Shared his Facebook profile. I didn't actually look at it. And then basically, I replied back and I shot a Loom video. I'm not going to go through the whole Loom video, but let's see. Yeah, I shot a 9-minute Loom video, breaking down his copy, giving him feedback, giving him critiques and stuff like that. And I haven't hired him yet because I don't have an immediate need. But the point is that guy is cool. I told him, feel free to follow up with me. In the Loom video, I was follow up with me every, once every couple of weeks or whatever you want to do, right? Because so I guess that's just a way of saying that the reason I replied to that email, I think really was just because of the personality. It made me happy, right? It was fun reading that and seeing this guy, and then his emails again were not bad, so that helps too. But I don't know. Hopefully that helps some people with your outreach. So that was a good example of solid outreach from Parth.
Totally. Yeah, that's awesome.